Mom, can we talk about relationship? I feel like I need some advice.
Of course, sweetie. What's on your mind?
Well, I've been seeing someone for a while, and I want to make sure I'm doing things right. How do you know if a relationship is going well?
That's a great question. One important thing is to communicate openly and honestly with each other. Are you too good at talking about your feelings and concerns?
We do talk, but sometimes I feel like he doesn't fully understand me. How do you deal with that?
It's normal to feel that way sometimes. The key is patience and finding ways to explain your feelings better. Sometimes, writing things down can help.
I never thought of that. Writing down my feelings might help him understand better. Did you ever feel misunderstood by Dad?
Absolutely. Many times, when your father and I started dating, we had our fair share of misunderstandings. But we always made it a point to listen and try to see things from each other's perspective.
That sounds challenging. What kept you going?
Love, respect, and a willingness to work through problems together. We knew we had something special, and we didn't want to give up easily.
How did you and Dad meet, by the way? I don't think I ever heard the full story.
Ah, that's a lovely story. We met in college. I was a sophomore, and he was a senior. We were both part of the same study group for a history class.
That sounds like a movie. Who made the first move?
He did. After a few study sessions, he asked me to join him for coffee. I remember being so nervous, but he was charming and made me laugh.
So it was love at first sight?
Not quite. It took time for us to really get to know each other and build a deep connection. We started as friends, and our relationship gradually grew from there.
What were some of the challenges you faced early on?
One major challenge was balancing our studies and our relationship. We had to make sure we didn't neglect our academic responsibilities while spending time together.
That must have been tough. How did you manage it?
We set boundaries and made schedule. We designated specific times for studying and for being together. It wasn't always easy, but it taught us discipline and respect for each other's time.
That's really smart. I'll keep that in mind. What about handling disagreements?
Disagreements are inevitable in any relationship. The important thing is how you handle them. Never go to bed angry, and always try to resolve conflicts through calm and respectful conversation.
That's good advice. Sometimes I feel like small issues can escalate quickly. How do you prevent that?
By addressing issues early on before they snowball. If something is bothering you, talk about it right away instead of letting it fester.
That makes sense. Did you and Dad have any big arguments?
Oh yes, we had our share of big arguments, especially in the early years. But we always made it a point to come back together and talk things through.
What was one of the biggest arguments you remember?
I remember we once had a huge argument about our future plans after college. Your father wanted to move to a different city for a job opportunity, and I wanted to stay close to my family.
How did you resolve that?
It took a lot of discussions and compromises. We finally agreed to try out his plan for a year, with the understanding that we would reassess our situation after that time.
That must have been hard. How did you feel about the compromise?
It wasn't easy, but it taught us the importance of flexibility and supporting each other's dreams. It turned out to be a great decision for both of us.
That's inspiring. So, did you always know Dad was the one?
Not immediately, but over time, as we faced challenges and shared experiences, I grew more certain. His kindness, dedication, and love convinced me that he was the one I wanted to spend my life with.
How did he propose to you?
It was a simple yet beautiful moment. We were on a picnic at our favorite park, and he suddenly got down on one knee and asked me to marry him. I was so surprised and happy, I couldn't stop crying.
That sounds so romantic. How did you feel in that moment?
I felt an overwhelming sense of joy and certainty. I knew that saying yes was the best decision I could make.
I hope I find that kind of love someday.
You will, sweetheart. Just remember to be patient and true to yourself. The right person will appreciate and love you for who you are.
Thanks, Mom. What other advice would you give for maintaining a healthy relationship?
Always show appreciation and gratitude. Small gestures like saying thank you, or doing something thoughtful, go a long way in keeping the romance alive.
I can see that. Sometimes I forget to express my gratitude.
It's easy to forget, but it's important to make it a habit. Also, never stop dating each other. Keep the excitement and romance alive by planning dates and surprises.
That's a great tip. What about trust? How do you build and maintain trust?
Trust is the foundation of any relationship. It's built through honesty, consistency, and reliability. Always be truthful and dependable.
What if trust is broken?
It can be rebuilt, but it takes time and effort. Both partners need to be committed to healing and making amends.
That's reassuring. I sometimes worry about trust issues.
It's natural to have concerns, but focus on building a strong foundation and addressing issues as they arise. Trust will grow over time.
Thanks, Mom. I feel a lot better after talking to you.
I'm glad to hear that. Remember, relationships are a journey, not a destination. Enjoy the journey and learn from each experience.
I will. Do you have any words of wisdom?
Yes, always keep love, respect, and communication at the heart of your relationship. These are the keys to a lasting and fulfilling partnership.
Thanks, Mom. Your advice means the world to me.
Anytime, sweetheart. I'm always here for you.